Hi guys, Kirk here. Hope you're all good. This morning we'll look at some basic structural repairs on dining chairs. Really common. People moving about in the chairs, leaning back on the legs, and eventually causes a lot of problems. See there, the back's coming off that one altogether. Sometimes it can break across this area here. The front legs can go. Lots of issues. This one is in two pieces, as you can see. The back, the pad, and the front legs. So that's it, pretty basic repairs, but need a few tools to sort these out. We need a driver and a drill. Quite important. The older the wood, the more fragile and harder it becomes. So piloting holes before we put screws through them is important, because the wood can just split if we don't take that approach. Rubber mallet, so we don't damage the wood when we're knocking things together, and then clamps. Important that we screw and glue and clamp, make a good repair on the joints and make it solid going forward. And we can even add some metal brackets. These need to be pretty tough. These are about 3mm thick, tough as old boots. Good quality screws, 3/4 of an inch, flat-headed posi drive. And these metal brackets can be placed into the joints to add additional strength to the leg or the back attachment or any area. Quite often that's a really good step to take, just to stop things from coming apart, because that additional support the bracket can give will support the chair and stop it from getting into this condition. The other thing we need is good adhesive. So this is polyurethane. Other brands are available. A bit of a chemical reaction, activated with a light spray of water with the adhesive, causes the adhesive to expand, so it actually fills as well as sticks. Probably see that relatively well on this one, because these two supports were completely detached. This needs attached to the back frame and to the side of the chair, but these were both loose entirely. But you can see the glue's expanded to fill that area, but it has this one as well. So really useful form of adhesive, that fills and sticks really strong if it's applied correctly onto clean surfaces when you're working. So that's the plan. We've got 5 of these chairs. They've all got various problems. It's actually a set of, I think, 15, and I've already done 10 of them. So these are the last 5, and then it'll all be good to go. Probably relatively valuable, in new condition. 15 chairs will be hundreds, if not a couple of £1,000 maybe. So maintaining these and looking after them is important. And we're obviously, not going to landfill or anything like that. We're keeping things good, and that's the way forward. So I'll just get on and we'll complete the repair on this chair, and take it from there. So effectively, glue on one side, a bit of moisture on the other, and we're going to bind together. This stuff is a nightmare to get off your hands, your clothes or anything, so hence small stick for applying. Widely available at some coffee shops. Really useful for applying things like this. This is already even starting to react with the moisture in the air, and which it will if it's not stored correctly and the bottles aren't sealed. It will just go off and just turn hard on its own. So it's important to store it safely and use it as clean as you can. Keep it off your hands and clothes. So fix the base back onto the back of the chair. Bit of glue expanding out the sides here. Wipe it off while it's wet if you can. Easier than chiseling it off and scratching the chair. And obviously we've clamped it and we'll let it dry overnight. Once it is dry, then we can put the brackets on underneath, as I indicated earlier. You should get additional strength again. You can paint these if you want, just similar colour to the chair, so they're almost undetectable, but you can't really see them anyway. So this one's now good to go and let dry, just the brackets go on it, and then we'll start on the rest of the chairs, get them finished in no time at all, and get them back to the customer. Following on the last section on repairing these chairs, I'm just going to show you this chair. What's happened here, through lack of maintenance, care, whatever, this back section has actually become completely loose and detached on these points. Somebody's tried to fill this with a rudimentary filler that you'll get from your DIY store. Most of these fillers are pretty poor quality and at best are only good for aesthetic repairs, not functional, and do not have the strength to repair something like this. So I'm going to clean out all this filler that's in here that's a bit messy, but I'm going to use a different filler than the one that's been used previously, and I'm going to clamp the full back of the chair to make sure it binds and it's going to hold this in place in future. Rather than the single pack filler from the DIY store, I'm using a 2-pack filler, which is a chemical reaction. This is a hardener and this is a filler. You mix them together, goes off quite quickly, so you've got to apply it sparingly and accurately into the correct position that you want it in, wiping off any excess again, because it's a devil to get off if you get it in the wrong place. So we're going to fill these bits with the 2-pack filler, and we're going to clamp the back of the chair, and that should make this good for years to come. It's pretty clear looking at this, it's just your regular B&Q stuff or whatever, and DIY store stuff, and you know that's all designed to be easy to use and make as much money as possible, but that doesn't mean it will do the job, and usually most of it won't. Just from a kind of word of kind of planning and organising these processes, I meet so many people who get products and just apply them the way they think that they should, and then they don't work, and because they don't read the instructions, they don't phone the technical services for advice and information. And just basic things like checking that information out, reading, you know, if someone's gone to a lot of effort to design this product, a lot of time, a lot of money, before it's then available, then they're probably going to know more about it than me. So I'm going to phone the guys up and say, hey, what do I do with this? Can you give me any particular pointers? What's the best way to use it? And the technical services departments in these businesses are usually pretty good if they're worth anything at all. You know, they're going to get repeat business and a good customer if they can help support the people that are using the products. So always check with the manufacturers. If you're unsure about anything, or you're not clear on reading the label or whatever, it's always good to talk to somebody and get some first-hand advice, you know, and support with what you're doing. These are pretty clean now. I might just sand them a little bit, now chisel them out, and that will just make them a little bit cleaner and a better surface for the filler. So quite easy to stick to. This one isn't an expanding